Hi guys, Paul here from PABrewNews. What I gotta? Gonna sit this way, little bit this way, little bit this way. It doesn't really matter, does it? Everything looks like shit. Yes, it does. Everything looks like these shits. Now if I do this, you see more of the sky, and then if I do this, you see less of the sky. So we're just gonna do this, kind of happy medium. Beautiful skies. There we go. I think if I stay like this, you see the skies. The skies look good. Anyway, just got done doing the 30th anniversary of Bell's Brewing Company, brewed in 2015, and this is now coming up to their 35th or 30. Did I say 35th? Yeah, 35th anniversary. 5 years age. So congratulations to Bell's Brewing Company from Comstock, Michigan. So hopefully we're gonna do another big ass beer like this for their 35th anniversary, and so I can grab some of that and put it in the dungeon, and later enjoy another great offering from Bell's Brewing Company. It's already reviewed up on the channel, so once that is done processing, cheers, Brother Craig. Once it gets done processing, it will come up on the channel, and you guys can check that out. Now, I absolutely muddled up and put away my bottle opener, so I must get it out again. Get out the bottle opener. Yeah, get it out, baby. Whip it out, slut. Let's do it. There we go. Okay. Now we do the beer. Let's see if I can. There it goes. Crack the old. Beer on my fucking pants again. 2 in a row. Here we go. Pour it in. Going to pour it in. There we go. There we go. We're just gonna keep that right there. Now this is the glare 1881 porter beer from Żywiec, and it's really hard to pronounce this if you don't even know. I think it's pronounced Żywiec, something like that. And again, forgive me, I think it's Żywiec, something like that. I always called it Żywiec growing up. We had the porter. We always used, or not the porter, the Pilsner. We always used to drink the Pilsner. We really liked it, but we just didn't know how to pronounce it. I think it's Żywiec, something like that, to pronounce that name. So, and say ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo, ba-ba-doo-ba-doo, product of Grupa Żywiec, and they are from Żywiec, Poland. So that's it's named after the place in Poland they're brewed in. This is the 1881 porter beer. A dark porter type beer was brewed in Żywiec as early as 1881. It owes its intense color and clear flavor to 4 types of malts. So there we go. 9.5 alcohol by volume, and the one that I just did here is 11. So they're still in that beautiful sessionable ABV range for me, because if you drink those like 3 or 4s, you get really shitty really quick. So you have to drink 10s or plus, and then you're okay. And that's how I look at it. So there we go. So obviously there's still a little bit more in the glass here. Actually, I don't even know if you can see this. You probably can't even see this, but there's actually I didn't even notice this before, but there's like a scenic embossing on the glass itself that I didn't even notice before, but I think it's super cool. Super cool. Big fan of that. And here's the beer in the glass, up to the light of the sun. A lot of ruby hues coming through here, especially a rind of caramel ruby hues at the pinnacle of the glass. But a nice little creamy topped head on this one. Let's get into aroma. Lovely, lovely, almost caramel cola-esque vibes. You have a lot of roasty toasty, earthiness, little copper coin tones in there. A little bit of a rind of a baker's chocolate, mixing it with all that nice roasty toasty and a little bit of char. Good stuff. Always smells good. This has always been an amazing porter. I reviewed it on the channel. Just an amazing porter, amazing stuff. I've always had a good time drinking it. I reviewed this, and you know, I wanted an extra beer because I don't have work tonight. The kids are all sleeping. They're not going to do anything, so I just wanted to get a nice little. Not that I ever never seen that here. Not that I ever looked for it. It's really good. I'm actually surprised you actually haven't seen it, because this is really, really good. I don't know. Have you ever seen the Pilsner? Have you ever seen their Pilsner beer wafting around the area? Their Pivo. Well, actually, I don't think it's Pivo. Is it Pivo when it's in Poland? Because I don't think it's beer. Is it? I don't know. It's Pivo when it's in Czech Republic. That's Pivo. That's beer. So I'm not sure in Poland if it's Pivo as well. But I'm sure if it was pronounced Pivo in Poland, they'd be like, oh, you're talking about beer. And even in Germany and stuff, like, they're so close to the Czech Republic, they understand what you're saying, if you know what I mean. It's pretty good stuff. Yeah. It's classified a porter. It's not. I don't believe it's not a Baltic porter. It's just a standard porter, if you know what I mean. Would be nice if it was a Baltic porter, but then it would be brewed with lager yeast. So it's kind of funny. It goes back to that whole conversation. I don't like lagers. Oh yeah? Okay. Do you like double box? Yeah. Do you like Baltic porters? Yeah. Well, that's a lager. There you go. So, but yeah, you don't like transcontinental macro bullshit, is what you're saying. Yeah, we get the lager. I don't know if that's an actual Pilsner beer. I'm not sure. I think it is. I've always really enjoyed that beer. So, I mean, I don't know if you've had it, just give it a go. I always like that beer, for sure. Three more, I guess you could have macro. I guess you call it macro. 3 more macro variants of the style from Poland that I definitely have had numerous times and enjoyed was that it's so hard to pronounce, I just called it that this one, the Lamza, and the Tiski. Now Tiski was a lager, it wasn't a Pilsner, but I really like the Tiski lager. I like the Lamza. I've had Lamza Porter, Lamza Lager, and Lamza Pilsner, and honestly I've liked everything Lamza does. I can't pronounce it. It's Lomza, I'm pretty sure it was called, and I bought cases of it back in the day. And for Polish beers, I liked all of those. I had no problem with Tiski, Lamza, and Żywiec. You know, not a problem. You know, like that a lot. Yeah. Talked to James from Rampant Line Reviews, and he was definitely a proponent of us going over to Poland, and he has Polish friends there, and of course he's traveled a little bit in Poland because of his friends, and just getting a bunch of money together and just kind of hitting Poland, because apparently he's like, he knows good places to go where, you know, traveling's not too expensive, eating's not too expensive, you know, room, board, the bullshit, and we could actually go see the countryside, you know, and that sounds really, really good to me. I had Perla Pills on Saturday. Perla Pills. I've never heard of Perla Pills. Perla Pills. That's nice. What was that one? God. Can't think of it. There's a German Pilsner. I don't think I've ever seen it in person. I've seen it on so many occasions. It's almost like it's almost got like almost a cartoon character, like almost like a cartoon background of like a pastoral scene with like a woman with a, I don't know, like a broom or something like that, and it's called like Rotland Pills or something like that, and I've always wanted to try it, but I've never actually got a chance to see it in person to try it. I was super happy to finally got the alt beer, the Doppelstick, from Uruguay. It's an Austrian one. Uriege or something like that, Uruguay or something like that, and that was super cool to get to finally get a chance to try that. And the same thing with Slammerklaus, when I finally actually got a chance to try that. It's kind of weird when you finally like look. A lot of people don't do this, obviously, but you're looking through beer books and you're watching all these things, and oh my god, like I can't believe same people that do like with classic cars. I've always dreamed to see this car, or you dream to see this thing, or dream to see this thing, and you're like, oh fuck, look, you're traveling, you're like, oh my god, there it is, there's that beer, Zoblen Orange Brew 8.5 Orange Brew. I mean, that's round. I mean, where do you go after you've had Orange Brew, or whatever you call that? What's the next step besides bed? I mean, rehab would be a good one. ER would be a second good one. But Orange Brew, like, where do you go from that? What country does make Orange Boom? Like orange, and almost like Oryabrum, Oryabrum. You know what I mean? That's what it looks like, because with this Scandinavian stuff, like the J's is Y. Who actually makes that? What country produces Orange Boom? Orange Boom. I'm waiting on pins and needles for Brother Craig's response, because I want to know who makes the Netherlands. The Netherlands, who make fuck all else, make Orange Bloom. So there you go. The Netherlands. The Netherlands. I think I have a... What is that, Denmark? I was going to say, I think I have a festival, a black metal festival or whatever on VHS. I can't remember if it was Denmark or the Netherlands. I can't remember the name of the fucking thing I was going to say. Damn. What are the... I'm having a brain fart. Oh, Mersey's Beer's here. Morning, Adam. I'm having a brain fart. What else comes from the Netherlands? Like, now we have the infamous Orange Boom, or Orange Boom, or Orion Boom. Is from the Netherlands. What other beers? I'm trying to think. I actually had a couple beers from Switzerland, which is good, because I don't get too many beers from Switzerland. I know I grabbed a couple and I reviewed them on the channel, and they were good. They were all good. And it was just weird too, because some of them have like really weird artwork and really weird titles to them. It was more like Graves and Death. Like, it's just like just weird ass titles to their beer and stuff. And I'm like, oh, this is awesome. And having it was really cool, because, like I said, I don't have much from Switzerland. I'm just trying to think what. I've had to have had beers from the Netherlands. I just cannot think off the top of my head what beers I've had. I had to have had a beer from the Netherlands. I knew a girl from the Netherlands. She still lives around here somewhere. Just, my Netherlands references have just gone out of my head. I've overworked myself a little bit, I think. Yeah, maybe it's the beautiful 2015 to 30th anniversary Bell's Brewing Company. That's 11% alcohol by volume from Comstock, Michigan. And cheers to you, Bell's, and your 35th anniversary this year. Maybe it's that is getting in the way of me thinking about the Netherlands. But I swear to God, I've had some beers from the Netherlands, and I just can't think of it. Here's another point, Craig. Amstel is Dutch. Yeah. I've never had Amstel. I've actually never had that. I'm sure it's not bad. I've just never had it. Trying to think. Oh yeah, Craig, brother Craig. When we had Lorelei at the Manchester Piss Up, did we have barrel-aged Lorelei or regular Lorelei? Because I know you said the barrel-aged wasn't as good as the regular version. And to the life of me, I loved what I had, but I couldn't remember if it was the barrel-aged version or the regular version. But it was really good. And we did have Yellow Belly, 2 versions of Yellow Belly, I think it was, and had a lot of nice roasted marshmallow coming out of that. The regular Lorelei. It was really good. It was probably the best Omnipollo beer I've ever had. That's Omnipollo, right? I think it is. Lorelei's Omnipollo. And it was really, really fucking good. We had the Bozo beer. I bought the Bozo beer when I was in Manchester at Port Street, just because it was an impulse buy, and that wasn't as good. It was kind of like, there you go. Bozo beer was one of those ones we just kind of had it because everyone was kind of like talking about it and going crazy. Yep, Omnipollo, good stuff. The Bozo beer was all right. It was like, yeah, it's all right. It's big ABV, whatever. Okay, on to the next one. It was kind of funny because we didn't spend too much time on some of those beers that night. It was literally just, okay, whatever, dump it out, let's go. Well, the next beer, and we had this big, I think it was Ginger Stew or something like that, who set he set this big pot up in the middle of the table of water, and we were supposed to like clean our glasses, or I don't know what the fuck he was doing, clean our glasses in this or do something in this big bucket of water. Or we were supposed to pour water in it and dump it in the bucket. I don't know, but it just became like a cesspool. And if we were a little bit more coherent at the end of the night, we probably would have bet someone 50 pounds if they would have just chugged it, if you know what I mean. And that would have been me. But any way to make money, you know, girls got to make a living. I really want to go to Omnipollo Church in Sweden. Why? With a like gas can and. That'd be fun. I want to go to Uppsala, Sweden. Uppsala, Sweden would be really cool. I think they still have. I think they still have in Uppsala, Sweden, some kind of the original, like one of the original kind of temples, like an actual Swedish kind of pagan temples, Odonic temples kind of thing up there. So I'd like to go see that. There is a place in either Norway or Sweden where they have the 3 giant swords put up. That'd be fucking awesome to see. And I want to go to Bergen too, because in Norway, I understand they're all like rich, hoity-toity, yuppie bastards in Sweden, or in Norway rather, in Sweden too. But and just to walk around, knowing that like you're walking on the footsteps of the same places, like some of the great black metal motherfuckers kind of did shit and kind of walked the same path, even though they weren't going to the same trendy shops or whatever. Go see where Helvet was. Go to the Fanfoff Church where it used to stand before Varg burned it down. Good stuff like that. It's like, there's mixed feelings on that in the black metal community, but I think it's, I have my own reserve feelings on that one. But it still has some kind of shit went down here kind of a thing. I'm a huge fan of Stephen Fry. I'm sure you guys know who Stephen Fry is. I'm a huge fan of history, American history, the whole thing. So I take the kids down to Gettysburg quite a bit. I started with my ex-wife now. My wife and I at the time, we used to go down. She showed me the whole place, and we used to go down all the time. And it was it's stupid, I know, but I watched. I have one of the box sets of Stephen Fry Traveling America, and And then, you know, it's so funny because Stephen Fry's like, holy fuck, we visited Gettysburg and he's doing the same one of walks that I used to do and stuff, and he's walking around places, and I was like, holy fuck. So the next time I went down there, I'm like, yo, Stephen Fry was like right here, whoa. Being stupid. Oh yeah, oh absolutely, stupid and intelligent. One of the biggest kicks I got when I was actually in in the UK with you guys is the day that I went to go to Staley Bridge to meet Rob, and then we went to the King's Head and stuff to meet Ginger Stew. It was great because yeah, he drove around in the Black London cabin that one. Absolutely, Adam. It was so cool knowing that I went to the same places, and it sounds stupid though at the same time because so many epic things have probably happened there, and all this and all this and all this. But just to know that Oz and James, Oz Clark and James, James May and Oz Clark, I think I said that right the first time. But yeah, Oz Clark and James May were in those same pubs when they did that Drink to Britain episode, you know, because I have all the 3 seasons of Oz and James as well. But I'm like, holy fuck, it looks completely different too. Especially the King's Head. The King's Head looks completely different from when they did it, when they did the train ride, you know, with the, you know, getting their drinks to the train. But at the same time, I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, that's really cool. It's just one of those things that I never thought I'd ever go to. And then, you know, 2 years, or, you know, actually, well, when I first saw it, it was probably 6 years ago or 7 years ago. You know, 7 years ago, I thought I'd never get there, and then show up there. It's pretty fucking good. And it was on a whim, not even knowing where I was going to meet Rob, to meet Stu. And they're like, oh, by the way. I'm like, wait a second, I'm going this fucking, holy fuck. And it was kind of like one of those kind of accidental awesomenesses. Awesomenesses is not a word, but it just got used. And that's what happens. Strange things happen on PABrewNews. But I'm just trying to enjoy this beer right now too. Tell you, the good way to start a Monday is to stop work and drink a beer, and that's what I'm doing. It's the best way to start a Monday, I'd have to say. It's a nice day out too, unfortunately, because I'm probably gonna have to mow the lawn, and I'm not really into that, but that's probably gonna have to happen because the lawn's taller than I am right now, so I'm just gonna have to mow it. Yeah. But I'll be doing some more cleaning, more renovating, getting some more shit done. Happy about that. I'm gonna be renovating the dungeon again. So you Maniacs Meat fans down there, or the old PABrewNews fans also, will understand that the dungeon will be getting renovated as well. So it'll be a cleaner, better, dirtier dungeon with more hookers and all these random things tied up to the walls. I just got to clear up a lot of the old bones and put some new bones up. So we're gonna be good there. Again, just renovating the house, really positive about it, and just happy to have these next 2 days off, and we're gonna do some more shit doing it. So we're gonna have some more fun renovating the house and doing some good shit. So again, if you know, the 30th anniversary of the Bell's Brewing Company's Imperial Stout 2015 is up on the channel right now. It's just processing. Once that gets done, doodly doodly whoppity whop, then you guys can see it. So thank you to Adam and Brother Craig for commenting and keeping this lively. Right now I'm just drinking the 1881 porter beer from Żywiec. And I'm horrible at pronouncing this, but there it is, Żywiec. I'm really horrible at pronouncing that, but that's the beer. Polish beer. So there you go. Ooh. Right now, if I had a second phone, I would be on Untapped and stuff, trying to figure out the other beers that I've actually had from Poland and actually from the Netherlands, because you were talking about the Netherlands with what was that? Oranjeboom. So I actually swear that I can get that here, but I'm not sure. There was a person that I used to work with who loves it, and I'm talking about adores Oranjeboom, adores it. But apparently he was telling me something like it's so hard to get that it only gets shipped into certain areas, being one of the areas being the capital, so Harrisburg. So he had to go down to Harrisburg just to specially get a case of Oranjeboom, just so he could take it, you know, on his trips that he takes. So, I mean, it's funny. It's certain beers where you go, you might take for granted, but there's other places you just can't get them. Like, for instance, Oranjeboom is probably a beer that you would be more construed to you know, take for granted or go ha ha ha, you know. And there's other places where people drive miles and miles just to get there, you know what I mean? There are different ABVs of Oranjeboom too. I mean, and I that doesn't surprise me. Drinking Żywiec porter right now, so if you guys if you're wondering what I'm drinking right now, a 9.5% porter, beautiful beer, absolutely beautiful beer. And again, for the PABrewNews fans out there, the 30th anniversary of Bell's Brewing Company 2015 was drank, and it's going to be on the channel soon. And now we're going to celebrate this year. Next month would be the 35th anniversary of Bell's Brewing Company. So do congratulate them on the 35th anniversary. Hopefully they do another huge ABV beer that you know, I can pick up and sell her, and we can do another video like this in 5 years. Yeah, and I will be much more gray than I am right now. So that'll be fun. So thank you guys for tuning in. So thank you very much. Oh. Just the morning beer, nothing crazy, no strippers, no hookers, no nuns on fire. Just a nice morning beer. Good morning, Mr. Basement Beer Guy. How you doing? How's Jamie doing on this fine, fine day? Brother Craig saying hi to Jamie, if you weren't noticing. Had a long day at work, so relaxing out here is pretty nice. This is the only beer that I brought, though. I brought these two, so I'm out after that. Dump the rest in. The 30th actually formed a really cool, nice, thick yeast cake at the bottom too, which is, I love seeing. I actually really like seeing that with like proper beers, proper brewed beers. After they sat for a long time, and they're huge imperial stouts, if you don't see a proper yeast cake, I mean, something's going wrong. I don't understand it. Just like those Ale Marys that I have too. Doing okay, Paul. Coffee is starting to kick in. Yeah! Good stuff. Those Ale Marys that I have too, they have nice yeast cakes at the bottom of them too, which is to be expected. Absolutely. What was it? I'm trying to remember the beer that the guy gave me. It was an 80 shilling ale from McCarthy or something like that. McCarthy Brewing Company. It was one that he said, he goes, I've had this case. This case was at least 20 years old, and he gave me a bottle of it too. It was like, it was a Scottish beer, and it was really, really nice, and it was really nice to drink, really enjoyable. Blah 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 blah. He was saying, and I was like, oh God, I wish I had one. You know, like it sucks. You know what I mean? Because I thought he drank it all. And he found one. He found one. He found one of them, and he's like, here, you know. And it was like a McCarthy or whatever. The brewery's not even around anymore, I don't even think. And it was an 80 shilling ale, like 20 years old or something like that. And I drank it too. It was a bit thin, granted, a bit thin, a bit minerally, but it was good. It was good. I put it on the channel too. It's on the channel. And it was a good beer. And it just shows you like a quality beer, made right, sealed right. It'll last. It might be a ghost of its former shelf itself by the time you drink it 30 years down the road. But at the same time, it's not going to get you sick. It's not going to taste like vinegar. It's not going to, I mean, like, it's going to still be good. So it kind of has something to say about it. You know what I mean? It's pretty good. And it was really cool that he gave me a bottle for free. He's like, here, just take it. Oh, let me know what you think of it. And I definitely enjoyed it. It was really cool. That's what I said. Like that brewery, not brewery, but that beer company up in the mountains, that beer distributor, they have, and now, have you ever, especially you, Craig, have you ever heard of Calamity Ale? Calamity Ale? I can't remember the brewery off the top of my head, but there is, I took pictures of it a long time ago and I put them over on Facebook saying, here's the stuff I found today. And basically like Calamity Jane. And there's the Calamity Ale, and there was an IPA, and there was, of course, like, Black Sheep Bitter and stuff like that, but they were old bottles, old bottles. And I bought that, for instance, I bought the case of, oh, thanks for everybody watching, anybody tuning in. I'm just drinking a porter beer right now from Poland that's really, really good. And I just got done drinking a 30th anniversary Bell's, which is now from 2015. So they're enjoying their 35th anniversary. So please do stop in and say hi to Bell's, and do enjoy their new anniversary beer when it comes out. But there's so many, like, it's all like about maybe a 20-minute drive for me, 25-minute drive to this beer distributor in off of 118, and it literally has just old stuff in there. Bateman's Triple XB Bitter from 20 years ago. It's probably there. Is there? There's a case of High Westified Ballast Point, the Victory C High Westified, a case of it. And even if it's $100, it's still old. You know what I mean? It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good stuff. I bought the case of of Ale Mary there from RHC Brewing Company. They closed in like 2006 or something like that. So it's old beer, but it's good beer, and it's beer you can't get anywhere. And there's the fact that it's so like you can't get it. Like they have a festival mild from George Gale's Brewing Company. George Gale's has been out of business for at least 2006, at least. And they have a case of that there. I bought a George. I did bite myself in my own ass, and I should have known this at the time. I bought a case of George Gale's Prize Old Ale, not Prize Old, Conquest Ale from them. And by the way, George Gale's Prize Old Ale, if it's stored white, is awesome. And I bought a Conquest Ale, and I've had Conquest Ale from them, and it was from 2001 or something like that, and it was awesome. So I buy this case. The case wasn't stored right. It was stored like a normal case of beer. It's got corks. It should have been stored on the side because the corks dried out, then it oxidized. So I bought a case of vinegar for $80 or $60. But that's on me. That's not on them. They didn't know. I should have known better. I fucked up. But the Festival Ale is a regular cap. So I'm still thinking about going up there and buying that because it's a mild. I don't get milds. I know it's a mild that's fucking 20 years old, but at the same time, it's like I just don't get milds. You can't. I don't know. Maybe anyone's listening right now that's a local, more local to me. Where do you get a mild? Who brews a mild? Nobody. Nobody brews a mild in PA. Nobody. I don't know any brewing. I mean, I know a brewing company that's trying to. Bond Place Brewing Company down in Easton. They brew a bitter called Mooney Bitter. It's like substandard, exactly what you need to do to make the classification of a bitter. So it's not. It's really nice to have because you can't get bitters here, but at the same time, it's not a great bitter, if you know what I mean. but it's still like really nice to have. But really, where we live in PA, you cannot brew a mild. Like, no one brews a brewery anyway. I'm sure home brewers do, but no regular brewing company in PA brews a mild, especially on cask. So you know what I mean, like, so to get that up at that brewing company, I think it's called Penn Creek Beverage or something like that, up on 118. They have really crazy stuff there, and it's old and it's good, and the prices are not bad at all. So I'm definitely gonna go up there and buy some more stuff for sure. Well, the birds are singing, the sun is out, I have some viewers, so thank you very much. I think, because the comments have stopped rolling in, and we're pushing about the 35-minute mark, I will say adieu to you. Beautiful beer. Always pick it up if you see it, no matter what. Pick it up. Great stuff. 9 out of 10. Excellent porter. This has been Paul from PABrewNews. Cheers. Bye-bye. Cheers to you. Cheers, Brother Craig. Cheers, Jamie. Watch that finger. Cheers, Adam. Bye-bye.